It's your boy Big Papita 396, right? I'm coming to you guys live from my break. And I wanted to speak on a few things that I feel like there needs to be some clarification, there needs to be some clarity. Okay, so I won't use names and I won't be specific, but there's a lot of chatter going around about people being fired, and I can't be specific, but I'm going to talk around it. But you guys will understand what I'm saying. Now, I believe a few months back, there was a driver who was accused of using the restroom behind the blade, and that driver was terminated. So I know the union, I know the contract pretty good. There's nothing in the contract that says that you cannot use the restroom. I mean, I'm looking in the contract. I don't see anything. The closest thing would be a lewd, something lewd conduct or something like that. But even then, it was behind the blade. So I'm like, it just was bothering me. So when I saw the operations manager, I politely addressed him and I says, hey, I'm not being specific, but there's a lot of conjecture and there's a lot of rumor, speculation out there that a driver was fired because he used the restroom behind the blade. Is that accurate? And he says, no, that's not accurate. He says that it was not a scenario how I explained it, that it was something entirely different. So I won't go too deep into it, but I'll let you guys know that it is important to lock out, tag out. It is important to do that because of a situation like this possibly coming back to bite you. So remember, whenever going behind the blade, please lock out, tag out. Okay? So I'll just say that, right? That's as much as I can say is that. I don't want to speculate or say what happened because I don't know what happened. But just know that if you're locking out, tagging out, whenever you're going behind the blade, you should be fine. Okay. Also, when it comes to accidents, guys, you guys have to know the difference in what they're looking for, what they're not looking for, right? So, when you have an accident, meaning that, let's just say I dump a can and I pull a wire, that is considered an operations liability, meaning that I get directly straight to my first written warning. There's no verbal warning. We go straight to written. If I hit a vehicle, if I hit a pole or a bollock or a tree or some kind of property damage, or it's walls, anything that's the company has to take money out of their pocket to repair and replace with a vehicle. Our vehicle does some damage. In that situation, and that's in that particular situation, I get a direct. That's like four strikes, you're out, right? Now, I believe every 10 months, I have to go over it again. But I believe every 10 months, one falls off. I'm not sure if that's the incident or the accident, but I believe every 10 months is a cycle, which is very easy to do. You can have 3 accidents in one day, let alone 10 months, right? The separate category that I'm talking about is let's just say incidents That's more so an accident not involving a truck. You're not using a truck, but let's just say a can is too heavy, right? And you try to move the can, but the can falls over and it strikes a car. Or you have a container, you lose a container, the container strikes a car. Or it damages some kind of property, a wall or a fence or a gate, some kind of painted, whatever. That is considered an incident, and you would get a verbal warning for the first one, and so on and so forth, right? So I feel like it's important to kind of get this out there, so that way, if you get into a situation, you're not shocked that you immediately got a written warning. So I also wanted to mention this. The company has an MIE program, right? And this is a program created by management to prevent accidents. This is not a punishment. This is not a punishment. I'm in the MIE program. It is not a punishment to go attend these meetings. You can actually learn a lot. I would encourage some of you guys to volunteer to go to some of these MIE meetings, because they have a lot of brass or people that are into safety that are higher up, different level. And you should hear some of the things that they say, because they say a lot of things that you would be shocked to hear. You would be like, wow, really? The company is very, very serious about safety. Very, very serious about it. And they will, they want you to prioritize that over everything. But you would have to be upstairs in those meetings to kind of see that. We go over videos and we see all kinds of things. This is not a punishment to be inside of an MIE program. Sometimes, for whatever reason, they'll throw you in there. Doesn't necessarily have to be an accident. It could be a close call. It could be something, whatever it could be. But just keep in mind that it is not a punishment to be in that MIE program. If you do happen to find yourself in that MIE program, do not look at it like it's a punishment. Look at it as, this is accident prevention. This is injury prevention. Sometimes guys get real arrogant with this trash stuff. Real arrogant. I've seen it. I've heard it. Guys laughing at other guys having accidents. Guys laughing and talking and not listening to, the meetings early in the morning when they're talking about safety incidents. I've forgotten about more trash probably than the people that were talking has even picked up. I've probably forgotten about more trash. They probably were in junior high school or younger than that, right? So it's like, the MIE program, I believe the union representative Juan was up there, and he was like, wow, he was even impressed by this program, because he says that he wishes that it was programs like this that existed back in the day before drivers that got canned. So look at the MIE program as something that you could kind of learn, or you can kind of get another point of view from. Don't look at it like it's a punishment, or I've seen people get very, very defensive that they're in a program, and it's like, I don't get it. It's not a punishment. I won't be offensive, but it's not a punishment. And let me tell you, you got a lot to learn. Picking up trash, I'm learning every day. And I've been doing this almost 20 years. So you learn something new every day. I mean, that's the way it is. You're not going to know everything in a couple years, or you've been doing this 4 years, 5 years. There's a lot of stuff that you have to learn. This is not one of those jobs that you just, safety is important, man. All of us can learn how to be better. All of us. So I wanted to say that, man. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I had to clear these things up because this was on my mind. It was bothering me. I'm like, man, I gotta holler at the guys and let you guys know. If you haven't done so already, check out the interview I did with Mr. Joseph Crudit, residential driver. I think it was a stellar interview. If you haven't done so, check that out. Leave a comment, like, or subscribe if you haven't done that already. But it's Big Papita 396, and I'm out.